Greetings, good people, and welcome to Co-Journal. Thank you for being here with us, journeying with us, walking with us, seeing with us. It is an honor to do the same with you, for you, as you, because we're all one. We are one. We are one through love. Oh, that feels good. That feels very good. If you're here for the first time, thank you for joining us. And if you've been with us for quite some time, you know what time it is. You know we're about you. You know you're it. As promised, we're going to keep moving. I have a higher self reading here for you. I don't have anything to say. I don't have any transmissions. Do I? Let's find out from the guides. Higher self reading. Okay, we're just going to let the cards do the talking. Shuffle once more. Yeah. Ooh, we're channeling intensely today. We're channeling intensely today, but that's the work we signed up for. You know what I'm saying? Let's channel the energy of the higher self. We invite the higher self through love and lights and truth and integrity to join us here. So we have the Chariot and the Nine of Cups again, which popped up in the previous reading. And then we have the Son of Coins. This I'll make shorter. So instead of the usual 4, 3, 2, 1 format, we're just going to go 3, 2, 1. The higher self. Oh, I've just been instructed to stop shuffling and really start tapping into the energy of the Chariot already. Light and dark, left and right, divine feminine and divine masculine, the inner child and the higher self, the shadow and the light. Okay? This is the work that has been done. Patiently. It's taken not even years, perhaps lifetimes to do this work. And for a lot of your community, your higher self is in the building. And your higher self is in the building because you did the work. You did the work, not through your higher self, but through your inner child. You healed the inner child. The wounded inner child is no longer screaming, shouting, fighting. The wounded inner child has transformed into the awakened, the radiant, the joyful inner child. And that is precisely what is moving your Chariot forward. Again, it took patience, it took toil, divine labor, I like to call it. When we're in the shadow and we're confronting the wounds of the inner child, and we're also confronting the higher self, because the higher self is hidden in the shadow, right? Is hidden in the shadow. What the higher self really is the healed inner child. The inner child remembering who it is, remembering what it's here for, remembering its magic, remembering its gifts. And the higher self uses that remembrance as a portal into embodiment, a portal into Christ consciousness, into one source, into divine purpose. The higher self uses the gifts of the inner child to fulfill the divine assignment. And again, it took time, it took labor, it took pausing. When other people were moving along, when their lives were changing physically in the 3D, people were getting married, people were getting jobs, people were accomplishing, things and achieving their goals and objectives. You were here still. It was for a reason. To ground, to anchor, to make sustainable. Slow and steady wins the race. Community, you walk with the kind of guides that aren't concerned with quick fixes and shortcuts. These are the guys that are here for the long run. And it's your time now to dream, to ask, to manifest. Okay? It's your time now. After all the work you've done to integrate, this is called integration, you've integrated the higher self and the inner child. You've integrated the shadow aspects of who you are. And the shadow doesn't necessarily mean bad. It means what you do not know, right? It means the unconscious. So you brought in the unconscious. You brought in the higher self. You brought in, the wisdom from your wounds, the wisdom from your pain, the wisdom from the trauma, and you integrated that, and that is what creates this movement. The Chariot is a card of determination. It is a card of victory, a card of triumph, a card of concentration and focus. You can actually move forward now. Because again, your guides were not going to grant you access into these dreams and these desires that have been susurrating in you for, again, perhaps even lifetimes. They weren't going to grant you access until you actually took some time to pause, took some time to assess your environment, assess your life, and ask yourself if this is what you're really about. Until you took some time to really just sit while others were moving and shifting, and things were happening and things were happening for them in the 3D. You were required to sit still. You were required to contemplate the foundations of your life. Yep, foundations. This is a earth sign card. Taurus, Scorpio, Virgo. You were asked to look at the foundations of your life. The ground, the earth from which things, the earth on which things rest, rather. And you were asked to really take a look at that. Okay? And now you're moving forward, for sure. And you have triumphed over unconsciousness, over fear. Because that's the thing with the shadow. We fear ourselves so much. We fear confronting the wounds. To fear the wounds is to fear the glory that comes with the wound. Because hidden in every wound is a lesson, is a gift, is magic, is glory. 6 minutes in. I can talk a whole lot, so I always try to ensure that, I say what needs to be said. Shout out to the long-winded folks out there. But I'm teaching myself efficacy. I'm teaching myself summary. Let's get 3 more cards, community, pertaining to the higher self. Yes, to the spirit team, to the divine community. 3 more cards. I'm so happy for us. 7 of Cups. Very interesting. Scorpio card. Oh, 3 of Coins. Not surprised. You're recreating yourself according to the terms and conditions of your higher self. Not of the self, the ego identified self, but the higher self that is conscious, aware, and attuned to source. 1 more. The Tower. Interesting stuff, community. Justice again. It's the season of truth. It's the season of authenticity. It's Aquarius season. Can't wait for my birthday. Cannot wait. What is it about the 7 of Cups? It's a Scorpio card. Of choices, illusions, daydreaming. It can allude to a psychic attack when you feel like you are inundated with information and you simply cannot make sense of it. You can't choose, you can't discern left from right. And that's where you were. That's where you were. I see that, of course, when we are, again, separate from the higher self, when we are not offering the wounded inner child the attention and the love and the awareness it requires, things begin to feel like a psychic attack. We don't know where to go because we are not guided by the higher self, and the inner childs are, some of our biggest guides, if not the most important guides, in my opinion, because they represent who we are in the present moment. So when we're not attuning to that wisdom of those guides, things can get very confusing. We can be stuck in this space of choicelessness. Like we see people moving, making choices, making big moves, and we're just like, I know there's something in me that is capable. I want that for myself too. I deserve that. I have gifts I want to use. I have talents I want to use. I have dreams to accomplish. I have a mission to fulfill. But what is it about? And again, your guides would not let you move forward until you did the work, until you went to the shadow. I mean, we don't have, we all have different templates. The people that I'm speaking to right now have a very unique template, often a very demanding template that asks you to pause and to wait until you get yourself together, until you gather yourself together, until you come home to yourself. until you come home to yourself, until you dismantle and collapse and disrupt the system, the tower of the ego. Until you do that, until you confront your wounds, until you address the fear, until you go into the shadow, this is just the vibe. These are the vibes. Confusion, psychic attacks, illusions, not knowing left from right, just desiring. It's like this paralysis that comes from desire. You have all these desires and you have no way of making them come true. Which is not the case anymore, because 9 of Cups, manifestation season, ask and you shall receive. And remember, we ask with our thoughts, we ask with our emotions, we ask with our vibration, we ask with our identity. And you have released an identity through this tower moment. And perhaps you will continue to do so. Yeah, you're doing so. You are continuing to release an identity. With every commitment to showing up, this tower is coming undone. This ego identified self is coming undone, and the higher self is growing more stronger, more potent. The energy of the higher self is growing more potent with each action you take, with each act of love. Yep, because you're recreating. The tower is coming undone because you are recreating yourself through 3 of Coins energy. And for me, 3 is a very significant number. In the previous reading, I spoke about the 3 of Cups being the trinity that represents yourself, you, the human, the higher self, and the inner child. This is, look at that. They are creating something, a masterpiece. You are this masterpiece. All your guides, right? You, your higher self, the inner child, the creator, source, all those subtle aspects of yourself, those subtle aspects of divinity are recreating you in this 3D form, because the coins, the pentacles speak to the 3D. What's happening right here, the wealth we have here, the thoughts we have here, the emotions we have here, right? There's wealth in this human experience. Using the body to recreate, using tangible resources to recreate yourself. To recreate yourself according to a new vision, a new dream, right? Whatever you were struggling with here, oh, I can't choose. I want to be this thing and I want to do that thing. Now, you get to really decide who you want to be, right? Because your higher self is here to support you through that awareness, through that consciousness, through that attunement, through that wisdom, through that embodiment. So you get to move from truth now, from being grounded in your higher self and your inner child now. You get to move from truth. Yep, we have the Justice card at the bottom of the deck. You get to move from truth. When you're moving from inauthenticity, when you're moving from, dissonance, incongruence with yourself, more often than not, psychic attacks, confusion ensues. But the tower is coming undone slowly. Slowly, with every action, you are recreating yourself. You are redreaming yourself. You are becoming who you've always known yourself to be. You're giving yourself permission to do that because, again, you did the work. You were asked to really assess the conditions of your life and observe whether or not they supported who you are, they supported where you're going. And for a lot of you, you did have a vision for yourself that was seemingly aligned, but there were some things missing. And you're going to start seeing old dreams resurface, but in a different way, through a different approach. You're going to start seeing old things, the goals you had. You're going to start seeing things from your childhood even resurface again, because you've been doing the inner child work, right? The inner child healing. You're going to start seeing talents that were lying dormant in you just emerge out of nowhere. And that's because your higher self and your inner child are having this beautiful conversation and they are driving you forward. We opened up that reading with the with the chariot driving things forward. You've got fuel, you've got drive, you're concentrated. You're concentrating. You're concentrating. Ah, beautiful. I'm so happy for you, community. I'm thrilled for you. This is what you deserve. And I'm glad you guys are hard on you. I'm glad you couldn't go anywhere. Because who wants to build something and only for it to be, you know, what? Only for it to collapse because it does not have proper and solid foundations. Only for it to collapse because it's not sustainable. Who wants that? Who wants that? Ain't nobody want that. If we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it right. That's what you guys are saying. If it's going to be done, it's going to be done right. And it has to be done right because community, a lot of you are very integral, very pivotal to the new earth. You are its leaders, its architects, right? So you have a huge responsibility to own your truth, to be integrated, to work through your stuff before you can. So much, yes, your purpose is linked to so many other people's. This is not a joke. It's huge. So it was important that you go through this because you have a huge responsibility. Your purpose is linked to the collectives. You are here to do massive, important work. So you had to do this right. You had to get this right. And I hope you're just as glad as I am for you, just as happy as I am for you, as joyous rather, as I am for you. Because there's no looking back anymore. Trust, there's no looking back. There is no looking back. Ooh, I love it. Thank you for joining me. We're going to churn out one more video. And if this resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, see you on the next one.